Test, test.
Jim Collopy, a sixth-place finish at event number 3. Jim Collopy, a third-place finish at event number 4. Jim Collopy, now coming into the event number 5 final table, third in chips. Can he finally break through for his first Poker Masters title? Find out right now.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. The Poker Masters is still underway. Event 5 final table on tap today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll take you inside the PokerGO Studio, just a short walk from Aria Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. The buy-in, one final time here at the Poker Masters at $10,000. Jim Collopy, one of the headliners tonight. Jeff Platt and Maria Ho are on the call on PokerGO.com. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me in the booth. Let's have some fun with this for the next hour as we give you a little taste of the action here on our YouTube channel. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as Collopy looks to perhaps finally close one out at his third straight final table. We'll give you some updates on the overall standings as Chino Rheem is at his 6th Poker Masters final table. And for those that watched our bonus coverage on Saturday night, he was involved in every single hand, and I don't expect it to be any different here at this final table. Here's a look at the chip counts presented by Octopi Poker. Filip Khavin is our chip leader. David Chen, potentially the future president of the United States. We'll get into that in just a bit. He is second in chips. Collopy Laskowitz also at the table. $52,000 guaranteed for the final 5 and $217K up top for the eventual winner. 11 players finished in the money. We're stoked to bring you this coverage. It's going to be a good one, Donnie. You cover this until late at night on Saturday as we look at the race for the jacket with Jeremy Becker still on top and Collopy with a real chance to do some damage if he manages to win. But Donnie, take us back to Saturday night. What is sort of the overarching storyline you're looking for, and how do you look back on day one?
Yeah, so two things stick out to me. One, the roller coaster of Chino Rheem. You mentioned it already. He was up, he was down, he was all over the place. So let's see if that roller coaster continues into this final table. And then Jim Collopy, a second place or better, gets Jim Collopy into first place on the Poker Masters leaderboard, his third consecutive final table here. And we'll see if he can close it out.
Cards in the air. Laskowitz jacks on the very first hand. I joked about David Chen, but boy, did he have a lot of fans in the chat on Saturday night. An unlikely finalist, his first cash inside the studio, his first final table. And Donnie, I also believe the youngest ever finalist here of a PGT event.
Yeah, and a record that was set a couple days ago. Harvey Castro made a final table. He became the youngest. And then David Chen says, no, hold on. I'm going to go break that record. And here I am. The recent MIT grad, computer science major. He's probably a bit sharp.
Oh, he is very sharp, among the sharpest. And look at this very first hand. We talked about Collopy finishing 6th at back-to-back final tables. Well, right now he finds ace-king on the very first hand to play in the big blind. Donnie, 3-bet sizing perhaps going up a bit due to Chen being involved here as well.
I think he's going to go all in.
495.
That's also a 3-bet.
He doesn't go all in. Not all in 3-bet.
Makes it 495 to go.
I believe we have a dead small blind here. Chen's on the button. Collopy's in the big blind here. So I do think it's interesting that Collopy elected to go non-all-in with the 3-bet here because, I mean, there could be a world where he does get flatted and have to play out of position against one, if not both, of these players. I think a lot of players would prefer to just rip in the ace-king off.
I mean, how
At the end of the day, you know what it is.
drawing hands?
It's just a drawing hand.
Exactly.
And you want to draw it all 5, so just put it in.
Yes, exactly. How does Laskowitz interpret this, Donnie? Is there ever a chance we take a line other than all in? Do we flat sometimes in position? Like, is there even room for that?
I think he's got too much of a hand to do anything but go all in here. I mean, it's not necessarily ideal, you know, because you have Chino Rheem, who's shorter, not like, you know, devastatingly short. He's still got 18 big blinds to work with. So if you're Laskowitz, like, you might be thinking of ICM, but I lean play to win.
Wow, look at this. Laskowitz is going to make the call. Is there any universe in which this price is good enough for 10-9 of hearts on the button? In my universe, it is.
Well, yeah.
What does MIT say about it?
Good question. I didn't go to MIT. I went to the prestigious Elon University. I mean, I think no. It's almost like you would rather, if you were going to call there, have like 7-8 suited versus 10-9 suited.
All right, so we're going to see a flop, 1.1 million in the middle, a little over a pot size bet left for each player, and the stacks are awfully close. They're separated by less than a big blind, and ace deuce 4 comes on the flop. Donnie, the saving grace here for Samuel Laskowitz.
Yeah, I think, you know, playing it conservatively allows him to, you know, get away from it on future streets, which is, I'm guessing, what he's going to be able to do here, you know, depending on what Collopy does. Stack to pot ratio about 1-to-1 for both players. Excuse me.
95K, the bet of Collopy, extremely small.
It's like 1/12 pot.
That's insane. We're probably getting the right price here to draw to a jack, Donnie.
Yeah. I mean, Collopy figures he just has such a stranglehold on this hand. Now, I think there might be times when Laskowitz has aces, and that would be Collopy's main concern. I would rule out spade combos because Collopy has the king of spades. The most likely spade combo, I think, would be king-queen of spades. But even that, I think Laskowitz would probably just get rid of pre-flop. So I think Collopy has probably correctly assessed the situation, like, you know, he's got queens, jacks, tens over there, and I need to milk value out of those hands. And he got at least one additional street, betting super small. We'll see what he comes with here. He might just continue to go super small the whole way.
So are we looking?
He sizes up a little bit here and then try and get it all in by the river, go all 3 streets.
So something in the 200 to 300K range to keep it very small?
Yeah, I mean, what if he just bets 100K again? I mean, why not, right?
It's so wild. Something you don't see all that often, as Collopy is really buying into the USA sunglasses persona, which I'm a huge fan of. And he bets 195K, so staying with the trend of going very small. Collopy with a lock on this hand. Laskowitz drawn to just 2 jacks. Donnie, even if the price is so good, do we just sometimes get rid of the jacks here? Is there still a chance that Collopy is bluffing and therefore we need to continue because some part of his range might include some nonsense?
Yeah, I think that there could be times he has some nonsense, but he has to have just, you know, total nonsense.
King, queen of spades.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's probably the best of the nonsense, you know, and maybe he just even has like 10-8 off. You know, like
right.
He just was kind of
Total
going
bluff.
crazy pre-flop. Just trying to take advantage of the situation. If you're going back to pre-flop, Collopy possibly thinking, if he was on some sort of bluff, you know, thinking, okay, I can apply pressure to these guys.
So is this where we go all in?
Yep.
And there it is. Jim Collopy moves all in for $1 million. And Laskowitz with the snap fold. So Jim Collopy charging Laskowitz an extra 300K in the process here. And a very, very nice pot here for Mr. Big Queso to start things off. He now, our new chip leader at the table. Hand number 1, excited immediately.
Didn't look at my cards and just went all in, I would have won. I would have beat whatever you had with Queen 3 offsuit.
Really annoying spot there. If you are Laskowitz, I mean, it's
I
like,
had it.
what are you going to do,
First card
right?
I looked at. 3 of clubs, Queen of spades.
If you're enjoying our Poker Masters coverage, please
Thank
smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you all for hanging out with us on this wonderful Monday.
Thank you.
Spring is in the air, Donnie, in Las Vegas. I stepped outside this morning and I was like,
Spring is in the air. It's September.
what am I saying? Fall is in the air. I stepped outside this morning and I was like, oh, there's a little bit of a brisk sensation that I haven't felt in a very long time.
Yeah, it was messing with my 15 minutes of sunshine in the morning. 'Cause it was a little bit more chilly than I was
All these are wrong.
anticipating, but
Whatever, I'll drink it. Thank you.
Funny to say that being in Las Vegas.
Still
It's been
good.
so hot this whole summer.
at least the smoke is gone.
Yes, that's good. Good news.
we can breathe again.
Yep.
Saw Laskowitz there giving up 3s. Again, being ICM conscious, and I guess Jim Collopy's just going to get ace king off every single hand. That's how this is going to go.
This must be Collopy's tournament to lose, really.
Maybe do that on that side, maybe.
Yeah.
We're a little tight over here.
Filip Khavin, by the way, Donnie, interesting storyline on day 1. Was short for quite some time, then busted Aram Oganyan when they both had equal stacks, and then all of a sudden he went on a massive rush.
What'd you have?
Yeah, Khavin's been around the PokerGO Studio at times, but it's kind of been a long time coming for him to have the success that he's having in this event. You know, had some close calls before, but maybe this is his tournament. That late surge on day 1, as you mentioned, you know, he was kind of just hanging around, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's the chip leader.
You have to see all 5, and you can't just call.
I think that's so small, though.
I understand.
I'm getting like direct odds to hit a stud.
No, I'm not saying your call's bad. I'm saying
Come on, Chino. Don't talk with your mouth full.
Rather jam.
Gavin
You know
makes
you
the
can't-
call
you-
in the
you
big
know
line, and we
that.
see Queen
You know you're
10,
not gonna call it
4
over.
roll off the deck. Rainbow
Yeah, I know.
flop,
you know what I
ace
mean?
king
That's why I was
out in
calling.
front.
No, I know. Yeah.
Well, or for that off chance that.
Notice the sizing pre-flop from Collopy. He went up to 185K at 50K big blind. So sizing up, having to play out of position.
I'd be out or double up.
I would have taken the Chino line with the jacks. I would have been out or doubled up as well, but
Maybe not.
check here. 6 on the turn.
Never know. Could have 10s. You never know.
Collopy probably thinking that his ace king is going to be good here a decent portion of the time.
But
Yeah, but also probably no reason to
like,
inflate
sitting
the
back,
pot
you
any
can just
more
see
than
it,
it
you know what's
is.
gonna happen. You know?
You know, your
Like, I knew
opponent
exactly what was
can
gonna happen.
possibly get tricky getting to play position on you.
I didn't know what you had, but I knew that was going to happen.
Collopy again checking. And Gavin happy to let his ace high reach the river.
You're still in.
9 of clubs completes the board. Would not be surprised to see this go check again.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made that Khavin could bet. I mean,
That seems ambitious with 10s, though. Like,
this seems like one of
Never
those
bet.
spots where
bluffing it.
you can think, yeah, I have showdown value with ace high, but
It does, but
I don't really have
I'm
it.
just saying. I'm not saying.
wouldn't Collopy have
He-
bet
he
by now
easily
if
could've
he
bet.
had worse than ace high?
Right, but like I'm just saying, if he does,
I mean, I
the way you
think
play
the
that.
worse than ace high, king
I
jack,
mean-
for example, he probably would have continued on the turn, maybe the flop as well. So if you're Khavin, like I kind of rule out the
you're
showdown
just asking
value.
me, dude. With all this ICM and shit, I don't know if it's correct or not, right?
I guess we are going to check this thing down, and Collopy continues his good start
y'all
here.
stacked with my, you know what I mean? Like,
Donnie, we're 13
telling you
minutes
what I
into
was
this
doing.
final
Fuck it.
table, and we have played 2 hands.
I'm ready.
And Collopy's had ace king offsuit on both, so
And
I'm
he's-
expecting it on the third.
And he's also won both
I'm not
hands.
either. I'm just telling you what I would have done.
He's got almost 3 million in chips. He is stretching out a lead.
Makes me want to jam, but
Laskowitz and
Yeah,
Rheem,
probably
the 2
flipping
shortest
right
stacks. Laskowitz just
Oh, yeah,
ahead.
Jimbo, would you have that hand, that first hand? We're just talking about. You don't have to say now if you don't want to, but
I'd rather say later.
okay. Oh, yeah, right.
Laskowitz still pretty new to the high-stakes tournament circuit. A couple years ago, 2022. His first ever tournament buy-in. He used to play all cash while he was also a corporate tax lawyer. He bought into the $400 Colossus at the WSOP the same year that I got like 230th in it. So he did a bit better than me because he took second place for, I think, right around 250K. I think it was Paul Heiser who won it that year, the Brit. And ever since then,
can you explain your
Collopy's been battling in some of the biggest tournaments against some of the toughest competition.
35 behind.
Thank you.
What you're saying, Donnie, is that
Not really a nickname anymore.
if 230 eliminations happened a different way, I would have been commentating on you right now.
Yeah, you could have been.
Look down at 2 good cards right now. Or fold. Either
Chino Rheem is going to fold.
Preferably 2 good cards, bud.
Imagine if he just called.
First one's a 3. It's not
Like,
gonna
you know what?
happen.
Call.
Second one, okay.
I'm a sucker for when Chino has a situation like that happen where he can sweat the cards, because he always sweats like so fun, like he one at a time, you know, like it's just entertaining.
Fuck that one off. Shouldn't have thought we might still call.
There you see the bio board for Filip Khavin out of St. Petersburg, Florida, married with 1 daughter, a Tampa Bay sports fan.
Sorry, man. I would pay a tax for winning the last 2.
Chino Rheem face down in his food over there. Chen's got ace-4 off.
David Chen, by the way, Donnie, get us back up to speed on him, because we had a bit of good banter on Saturday night. He had lots of fans in the chat. We found out he is responsible for all major innovations and developments across the globe. But he did have some good support.
Yeah, he did. Young kid, 21, out of Washington, D.C., went to MIT, graduated with computer science. I already mentioned that. Was recently going to relocate to Pennsylvania, but the landlord that he and his friends were going to rent from said, oh, you can't move into October, so I guess they got on a plane. Maybe they drove, I don't know, but came out here to basically YOLO with some gambling, and next thing you know, he's making some runs at the Poker Masters. He's also a contributor for GTO Wizard.
Okay.
So I would say, you know,
many hands
if
for
you're
Don?
able to write for GTO Wizard, if that's a team that's going to peg you as good enough, smart enough to put out content for that, combined with the fact that he graduated from MIT, that's a sharp fellow.
I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. David Chen is a guy now, and I can pretty sure, I can say with much confidence that his name is going to be a mainstay inside the studio.
We have a hand?
Chino Rheem, a little handoff there, passing the cash over to Sam Soverel.
Last hand, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a new hand, right? Yeah. Right? Okay. Gotcha.
So Khavin here electing to raise from the cutoff, Jack 7. Chino Rheem is the short stack, would expect this money's going in. King, Queen of Diamonds.
Can't ask for a whole bunch more if you're Chino Rheem.
Yeah, good spot. Once Chen and Collopy get out of the way, Khavin's probably opening up the range a little bit that Rheem can feel comfortable shoving here.
Chino Rheem, by the way, played an enormous pot versus Texas Mike on day 1, which vaulted him into an absurd chip lead. For reference, that was probably with 17 or 18 players left, and Rheem was up to 2.1 million chips. Right now, that would still put you basically second in chips.
Now 30?
Yeah, I even want to say he might have peaked at like 2.4 million because the Chino Rheem train was not slowing down at all.
Rheem, of course, 3-time World Poker Tour champion, has a main event final table under his belt. One of the most versatile and explosive players on tour as the blinds go up to 30K, 60K with a 60K big blind ante. By the way, shout out to everyone in the chat with us. Anish says, David Chen is indeed a guy now. Yeah, that is correct. Appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. We got Ian Chen back in the mix as well. If you need any more David Chen facts, Ian Chen's your boy in the chat. This is a 1-hour preview of the action, by the way. If you're new to PokerGO, please snag yourself an annual subscription. Use promo code MastersGold. And if you do subscribe on the annual plan, you're automatically entered into our 2 raffles that are going on right now. We're giving away a $10,000
I'm gonna show you.
PokerStars NAPT Gold Package, Gold Pass, and also a 2025 WSOP main event seat.
I get a walk, the hand doesn't exist. I don't really like treating this as like it's an actual hand, because in my world it didn't exist.
You don't want to be able to see you at aces after.
It doesn't mean anything to me. So like, it'd be like a game of poker that had no money involved, you know?
Jim Collopy getting philosophical with the walk. Donnie, I know you're the same. Never look when you get a walk. And there it is, back on screen. It's almost as if I sort of predicted this would happen. You can win a gold pass and play in the NAPT Las Vegas 5K buy-in, $3 million main event. All you have to do is be an annual subscriber to PokerGO. Use promo code MastersGold to save on your annual subscription. This is the best time to get in because we have 2 of those big giveaways still on deck. The seat draw, or the draw for the Gold Pass, will happen on October 1st, and the annual subscriber who wins will be contacted by us. Chino with deuces, Donnie, opening it up. Is this a GTO Wizard approved?
No, this is a Brent Hanks approved. The Buffalo Wizard says yes. Deuces, let's go, raise.
Incredibly funny.
Under the gun, too, so, you know, could face some opposition from his opponents, but... Yeah, a lot of good content on PokerGO. Obviously, Poker Masters right now, of course. High stakes poker and No Gamble No Future airing Mondays and Wednesdays. New seasons of that. Coming up in October, the PGT PLO series. Also, Super High Roller Bowl PLO.
Oh man, is it going to go till 7 in the morning again?
I hope not. If it does, you and I are taking shifts. Okay, we're not. I mean,
yeah, we need a cot here. We need like a little nap corner.
Oh, Chino going in.
What do we got tonight?
I don't know. It's
dumplings?
Kind of blocked. It's morning. He probably went salt and ivy.
It's on you, bro.
Oh, actually, he's got chopsticks. So
Oh, never mind. It's on me.
Wow.
It's never too early or too late for a little dim
Enjoy your
sum.
food.
Yeah, I was trying
Don't
to.
listen to this guy. Anti-breakfast over here.
Sam Laskowitz
Raise 120,000.
makes a 120 with Jack 10 suited. His situation at this table has drastically changed since losing that hand with Jacks versus the Ace King of Collopy. In case you're just tuning in, Jim Collopy off to a hot start.
Was that Seinfeld bit? Anti-dentite. It's a good episode.
Seinfeld sucks, in case anyone doesn't know.
wow.
Love to get the haters riled up.
I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. So
I have.
we might fight in this little room that we're in.
Oh.
It's fine. Everyone can have their own
Yeah.
opinion.
I
Is that
like
one
The
with Bryan
Office.
Cranston?
Best show ever.
What's the bet?
See, I've
Such a
tried
good
to watch
character,
The
yes.
Office and I just could never get in. Not that I would
Tim
say that it's
Watley.
bad.
Yeah.
It just wasn't something that I like got into. You know, it's one of those.
Damn.
But I'm one of those people who I really find it. Whenever I watch something, TV show or movie, it's very hard for me to have the opinion that something is very bad or very good. I'm always just like kind of right down the
Right.
middle. Like if I make it from start to finish, then it served the purpose of entertaining me for that, whatever, half hour, 2 hours, or whatever it may be. Rheem does defend and then flops top pair here. The 2 short stacks battling in this one. Laskowitz going to continue.
But yeah, back to Seinfeld.
Did Seinfeld, was there ever poker in Seinfeld? I don't think so.
I don't know. I can't really do laugh tracks. Really bugs me. And I just cannot stand Jerry Seinfeld. He just loves himself so much. The comedians in cars getting coffee. I'm not sure if you watched that.
I love it.
He just wants to hear himself talk like so much. Like ask a question to your guests. He'll ask a question and then he'll tell a story about his own life. I'm like, dude, shut up. Let the man speak.
Speaking of someone very important, can I please get the...
Rheem check called here on the flop. Laskowitz might get himself into a little bit of trouble here. Does check back.
How do you like Rheem sort of quote unquote slow playing his pair here?
Yeah, I might just not want to go too crazy with it. There are some draws out there that you can get in and kind of just be flipping with. There are better hands, of course, that you can be behind. So I don't mind taking a conservative approach there. Laskowitz gets that jack on the river. He's going to try and show it down, but it is no good.
All right, so Chino Rheem chipping up, and Laskowitz taking another blow to the stomach region. Must be feeling sick by now about the start of his final table.
You asking me what I'm having?
Oh my God, Chino. Manners.
Breakfast or lunch?
For me, this is my
If you
usual when I
told
come
me,
here.
So this is how you start your day.
if you said to me,
But
is
If it's
Chino
my
Rheem
first
somebody
meal
who
here
talks
at
with
the
food in
studio,
his
yeah,
mouth
I
or
don't eat
waits till he
breakfast
chews, I would have 100% said he talks with
Every
food in his
time.
mouth.
if you started your day with salt and ivy, would it be breakfast or lunch?
Depends.
Okay.
Sometimes it's eggs, sometimes it's like
Okay. All right.
a sandwich, you
So
know?
it's protein specific?
Yeah.
All right. Egg salad sandwich?
Sometimes.
Okay.
not?
That's a lunch though? Can't have egg
Depends
salad
on how you look
sandwich
at
for
it.
breakfast.
Egg salad is definitely lunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a debate that I
But
like
I
to weigh
eat
in.
all kinds of stuff at any given time of the hours of the day. For me, it's
Donnie,
just
is
eating.
breakfast a time
You
of
know?
day? Is it a type of meal? Or is it related to when you first eat? There's 3 options there.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean,
I have a very...
I think it's a meal.
Okay, so I think it's whatever you eat first.
Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
If I'm on night shift and I
But
wait,
I also might say, you know,
because you can say I'm having pad thai for breakfast.
you can also say I'm having breakfast for dinner, which means like I might have some freaking pancakes for dinner.
Right.
You know?
I just feel like, as someone who eats pancakes at night quite often, it's just about timing.
That's just because it's morning in the Netherlands.
Yeah, exactly. I have not adjusted yet. It's been 6 years.
Huh? Oh, time extension?
Especially when we do these late night bonus coverage, I wake up later than
was.
usual. It's still breakfast for me, even though it's at noon.
This guy's got 23 over here. He wouldn't do something like that.
I wasted it on purpose yesterday, just for fun. See what it feels like.
I was at a final table with a guy that used 2 of them before just calling someone's all in
Oh, wow.
with aces.
That's strong.
And I'm just like,
Wow.
pretty good.
That's a
If
good
you don't know the person that well, that might result in a physical
There's
altercation.
people behind, you know.
Okay.
It wasn't,
All right,
it wasn't,
all right.
yeah.
So he wasn't the last act.
No.
That'd be even better.
Yes. Either way.
I feel like last act is better.
All right, Gavin here with
There's some
Pocket
great
Fours.
clip online of
Raising it
a
up.
team event where a player has
Like tag
Yes.
team?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, like a country related
Yeah, I've
one.
seen- I've
You've seen this one? And they were allowed to sub out in the middle of a hand, and they were able to sub out in the middle of a hand with still rolling in with pocket aces. The guy just goes out, and they just all have a laugh, and he comes back. And
World Cup of Poker in the Bahamas, Team Germany
Is that 125?
with the epic slow roll is what Jim Collopy is referring to. Chino Rheem here, Donnie, flatting with King 10 off on the button versus Gavin's raise. Seems speculative,
Yeah,
especially given the stack size.
Reem's gonna do whatever Rheem wants. I mean, it's honestly. Flops top pair though. King, Queen, 3.
I mean, if the flops
gonna make
work
me
in your
wait
favor,
till
You win.
Rheem?
you can call just about any hand.
I do.
This is gonna be something that I think Khavin's gonna want to be aware of
3 of clubs.
whenever he's able to get some information later on. What I mean by that is if Chino's going to be opening deuces, flatting King 10 off, stuff like that in position against you, then maybe you don't start, open 4s, right? Just because how well are 4s going to flop? You have to play out of position against somebody who's pretty sticky and also kind of
give
loose,
Chewy
so it
credit for this new
can get
logo.
tricky. So
Yeah.
if you're in
Spade,
Khavin's
little-
shoes with Chino being
whatever that
on your
thing's
direct
called.
left, even though it is across the table,
Blank space.
something to be aware of going forward.
Just had a look at the tournament summary
I like the old
presented
one,
by
but
Storm
this
X.
one's-
Still 5 players in the mix for this title. And Donnie, I mentioned the points earlier. What happens if Collopy pulls off a win here? Because it's more and more leaning towards that.
Yeah, if Collopy wins, he'll move ahead of Jeremy Becker at the top of the leaderboard. Even if he gets second, he would overtake Jeremy Becker on the top of the leaderboard. Becker's got 285 285 points,
I don't-
one
I
win.
wanna
He
play
won
the
event
next
number
hand.
2. And then he cashed in this event, right? Yeah, he cashed in this event in 8th place. So Becker is qualified, in the words of Tony G,
Right.
to win the jacket. He has 2 cashes. You need to cash twice in order to be eligible. So he's the front runner right now, and Collopy's looking to get up on top of that leaderboard.
Event 5 kicked off earlier today inside the studio. All your favorite characters are battling again. It is cool to see Wayne Nowak back in action. We got Schulman, Negreanu, Bonomo, some new faces. Daniel Wynant now in the house. Chris Hooney has recovered from a night out at the UFC. Sam Salverol is here. Denise Pratt is playing.
I saw Denise. Saw Eric Seidel walk in. He hasn't been here yet. He looked like he was sporting some new shoes when I walked in. He had those like barefoot shoes.
Oh, wow. That's
not the ones with like the toes, not those.
Oh, okay.
Like the other ones.
Yeah, Chewy wore those for a couple of years when he was also running his car on sunflower oil.
Was he really running his car on sunflower oil? Oh, okay.
He was going to restaurants to pick up leftover oil.
Wow.
But yeah, 38 players so far in the 15K that just kicked off, so lots of entries and re-entries still possible. Can imagine that these players are all going to jump in that as well. We have some day one bonus coverage of that event tonight at 9:15 p.m. Pacific time. That's like almost Poker After Dark type time zone.
Laskowitz here with a couple of aces. Collopy thinking about it, but a short stack like this coming in with a raise and not jamming seems like it would lean towards premiums, and that's exactly what Laskowitz had. Gets back out of that 10 big blind territory. Up to 740K at 60K big blind now. Just over 12 bigs for Sam.
Gina, got 2 columns of purple?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on up.
2 columns of purple. It's an interesting way to phrase that one.
It makes it sound like we're dealing with architecture over
Yeah.
here. Donnie, have you had
PGT
the
Athens now?
have you had the contractor look at our 2 towers of purple yet? Did we get a
Collopy's towers of purple look a bit unstable.
Yeah.
We might need to get the building inspector in here. check those out. Leaning Tower of Collopy.
Oh my God.
He comes in with a raise, 125K.
I saw chat mention if we can be a bit more quiet so we can hear the table talk. I have yet to hear them say much. We'll step away whenever someone has something to say.
Well, I definitely talked over Chino Rheem earlier, and I apologize, guys, but I had to say something. I will do a bit better.
Do better, Donnie. Do better.
I will.
Still people chiming in on chat saying breakfast for dinner is GTO, is what Jay Seppi says.
Breakfast is my favorite type of food.
Oh, 100%.
Like it's not even
Donnie,
it's not even close.
This is why you need to join me in the ranks of being an endurance athlete, because
I spent 20 minutes on the Peloton this morning.
Yeah, that's why I said endurance athlete. That is not even a
Hey,
warm-up.
that was after a 35-minute weight workout.
Okay. But yeah, the amount of waffles, pancakes, and foods like that I consume on a weekly basis is quite extraordinary. By the way, did you know there's this chain of breakfast restaurants called First Watch? We don't have it in Vegas. It's all over.
Heard of it.
It's in Utah. It's in Arizona. I think it's in California. If you've been to First Watch, let me know in the chat. They have the best lemon ricotta pancakes that I've ever had, and I don't understand why there's no location in Vegas. So if you're
especially if it's kind of in that region, like
yeah,
it's those places you mentioned are right around.
It's
Vegas.
so crazy.
Khavin here, 10-9 of hearts. He's in there with the raise on the button. Laskowitz in the big blind with a dominated 9-8 off, and that's into the muck as it appears he is being very ICM conscious here with things. Wait, sorry, Collopy raised. My fault. Collopy raised to 125 with a mystery hand. And Khavin called. King 4-3. Mike Cetera said 1 meal a day GTO. I mean, I don't know how anyone who likes to eat can only eat 1 meal a day.
Exactly.
I've tried it. It's
Bold.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Collopy with a continuation bet, and that takes it down.
St. George, Utah, by the way, has a first watch. And
That's kind of close to here.
So does the Phoenix area. They have a bunch. There it is. We got some people in the chat who've been there. GJB says it's in Florida and it's trash. Maybe it's trash because it's in Florida? I'm not sure if that's related.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things in Florida that are trash.
I would blame
Look back here at Filip Khavin, who
technology that you guys invested in.
is not too pleased, perhaps, with the start of his final table,
Always
but
got to account for human error.
it's a long battle.
Couldn't be more excited about breakfast coming.
What'd you order?
An omelet.
Can you tell that Jim Collopy is hungry? He's been talking about food for the last 20 minutes.
Not a big fan of eggs.
Yeah. I never had them until I was in
Oh,
my
wow.
20s.
Well, this is bad news for Laskowitz.
Yeah, it's funny. I like the yolk, but like, that's about it.
He's for sure going to be putting this in here.
I
And
grew
he's
up with
going
my
to
dad
run
and
into it
older
with
brother.
Rheem.
Allergic?
Really? Yeah.
Ish?
475.
All right, so Laskowitz with the committing raise here versus
Parents
Chino
always did, I
Rheem.
just never liked them.
My
What a
mom would eat 'em
disaster day
alone.
it's been for Laskowitz.
I'm sure that was related to the other allergies.
David Chen with an easy decision. Gets out of the way. We're going to see it happen. Jacks versus tens. There goes Chino Rheem. And Laskowitz calls it off. We're going to have it all in showdown. 1.3 million in the middle. Laskowitz versus Rheem. And you can see it in the eyes of Sam Laskowitz. First the jacks, now the tens. Nothing going his way. You play for days on end to get to a final table like this, only for it to then potentially end in this fashion.
Jack's not kind to Laskowitz. Lost with them. Now it looks like he's going to lose against them.
All right, here comes the flop. Oh, 10-8 deuce. And look at Chino Rheem. He is in shock.
Needs a jack. A jack of club or a jack of diamonds.
Turn is the deuce of spades. Daddy Chino looking for a jack to win this hand as Laskowitz tournament life is on the line. River card is the 3 of clubs, and Sam Laskowitz completes the narrow escape.
6 point.
So dramatic. Let's
To
go.
answer your question, yes, you can. Stuck out.
Done a good job with this tournament.
Disgusting. Donnie, like you and I have been in poker for over 15 years. When you see this happen, I'm both excited for the 10 to come, and I both feel bad about the 10 coming.
Yeah, I feel you. I always just try and root for the best hand in my mind.
Yeah, but like you get maximum drama, which is more fun to watch.
Of course.
When the best hand always
The
loses.
reason why I do it in my own mind is because I want my hands to hold up like in some future world.
Right.
And I don't want to put the energy out there,
Right.
even if it's just mental energy, that I am always rooting for the second best hand. So I just want it out there. I want the best hand to always hold up. I know that might not be the most entertaining thing, but I feel like that's the most beneficial to me personally, and I want to be selfish.
I love how you're just always thinking of what the karma could do to you if you're trying to root for the wrong side, as Laskowitz here picks up ace-10 offsuit. He's going to continue, of course, to attack the blinds.
It's the last call time for salt knighting.
Collopy obsessed with breakfast right now as David Chen looks down at ace-queen off and takes a gander around the room. I wonder if he's looking at the clock to see whether the blinds are about to go up soon. It's going to cost him a time extension, Chip. David Chen really taking his time here.
555.
Raise 555.
All right, so the raise has been announced to 555,000.
Laskowitz out of the way.
You didn't have pocket fives that handed you.
And Chen, who's been our tightest player at the table, gets some chips back after bleeding a few in the early goings here. MIT graduate, author at GTO Wizard, and a U.S. Nationals math champion.
I want to say 2019, maybe?
That's pretty sweet. If you're just tuning in, this is a 1-hour preview of the action on PokerGO. Jeff Platt and Maria Ho on the commentary today for the remainder of this final table. Donnie and I will be back with some late night action. I know that I can count on a few of you in the chat to be there. At 9:15 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to get things underway with our bonus coverage of day 1 of the 15K. And given the fact that the field is a little bit smaller, I think we are guaranteed a stacked feature table tonight in the 15K. We're going to play down to a final table of 5 tonight. So if you want to see, if you want to find out which final table you're going to watch tomorrow, you might as well tune in for
found 19,000 on the street.
our nightly coverage.
What?
You just found 19,000 on the street.
Queen 7-4, 2 hearts.
Maybe more.
Gavin out-flopping Collopy in this blind battle. Last 2 times these guys
Right?
battled in the blind battle, it got checked all the way down to the river. Ace-King versus Ace-7. A little bit different now with both players making a pair.
You just walking, minding your own business, tripped over and fell and found $19,000.
What can I do?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm just saying. That's just what happened.
75K from Khavin. Collopy sticks around. Uh-oh. LED wall went out.
Poker in the dark.
Speaking of that, building inspector. It's pretty incredible that we haven't had a power outage here.
Like the whole building
Like
going out?
the studio, just
Right.
like
Well, you know,
completely dark.
if that happens, you know what my immediate thought will be, right?
We're getting robbed.
Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11, baby.
Check, check on the turn. Another diamond comes in on the river. Khavin has the check mark, but I'm not sure either player is going to be feeling confident here, given the texture of this board. Collopy checks. Khavin checks behind, and it's okay, sir, because you got the winner. 10-7, pair of sevens is good.
All right, Jim Collopy maintains his lead here. And let's take a quick look at the upcoming PokerStars NAPT returning to Las Vegas. November 1st through the 10th at Resorts World. 5K buy-in main event, $3 million guaranteed. 2 events count towards the BGT, the 25K high roller and the 10K high roller. And there's plenty of smaller buy-in events for you to play as well. Go to PokerStarsLive.com/NAPT/Las Vegas to check out the full schedule. So don't miss out. I'm going to be there. I'm going to play the bounty. I think Donnie's going to play every event.
No, just a couple. But I will say they have. I'm going to quickly pull up the schedule of that website that you answered, and we'll talk about it. But we'll pay attention to this hand because Ace King off
Don't they do that anyways when you're watching the stream?
finds
have
its
the
way
numbers
to
No, like
Mr.
What it means for
Laskowitz.
us.
on? Oh, no.
Purist over here. It's a visual game.
It's also
Laskowitz, 125.
your responsibility to know that game. kind of thing, right?
But is it my responsibility to like know the average? That's a thing that's displayed for every other clock.
I don't know what you were insinuating, but I just meant based on his question. What happened? You raced?
Oh boy. Wow, this final table so far has been filled with big clashes.
Yeah, and these two are going to go to war once again. A couple of queens for Rheem. And he must be feeling good as the shortest stack remaining.
375?
Wow. Coming with the small raise. And despite the fact that it looks very strong, Laskowitz holding the goods as well. The most classic of coin flips. All in announced from Laskowitz. And Rheem's going to make the call. Classic coin flip. Queens versus ace king. Let us know in the chat. Who do you got?
Very classical.
What do you think's gonna win?
The viewers. The house.
The house, yes.
Mr.
All right.
MGM.
Who the hell?
Let's see the flop as Chino takes a rip of the vape. 9-8, 6-2 diamonds. Rheem's queens still out in front.
That'd be a fun one.
I think Chino would have a
Laskowitz.
better shot winning his jacks if he'd
Looking
called
for an
the
ace or a
9
king.
on the turn instead of the jack.
Yeah, you've premature.
Turn card 4 of
Yeah,
clubs.
it's a little
Queens
slip card.
still safe.
Actual card. Yeah.
Stacks
Save that for
flip-flopping
delivery. Yeah, I think
if
you're right.
Chino Rheem
Yeah,
holds
save
up
it
here
for
with
the
pocket
middle, no
queens.
choice.
Ace or a king
Your
would send
backup
Chino to
plan
the
is your
rail.
2-outer.
Yeah.
You gotta draw out a winning 5-card hand. If you
River
have the
card.
option.
Wow, you're so seasoned.
It's the 7 of hearts, and Chino Rheem doubles back through Sam Laskowitz, who is back to being the short
8,
stack.
20.
It's been quite the eventful day for Laskowitz. I mean, he's been
He's been
involved in like 3 or 4 very, very big, important hands. His stack has been swinging all over the place. It's been up, it's been down. Right now, it's back down quite a bit after he does double up Mr. Rheem.
Everyone can see how many purples I have, right? You guys are good?
Yeah.
The way I put it?
2 and
The
a
two
third.
stacks and then
Yeah.
heart. Okay.
Is that better?
Looks good. Yeah.
So Josie.
That NAPT schedule, Remko, has a $550
That's correct.
Heroes
Good.
event
You raised less.
and a
You
$550
raised
8-game
on
event.
That's right.
That's great.
Those sound right up your alley.
That sounds amazing. That might get me back in here. The final 5, by the way, here guaranteed $52,000.
Couple of jacks now for David Chen.
120.
Min raise to 120K. Khavin puts a couple of deuces in the muck. Ace-5 now for Laskowitz. Who has just shy of 7 big blinds. Laskowitz does make the call. He's going to try and flop something and go with it here. 7-5-4. It's probably going to be trouble for Laskowitz out of the big blind here. Chen can obviously have a lot of just kind of random high cards that whiff here. Laskowitz is very, very short.
Donnie, how do you view Chen's table presence? Looks all around the room. Maybe seems or acts or maybe just feels a little nervous. It is not something we often see. Most of the times players, stare at the table, stare at their opponent. But Chen sort of seems to take it all in.
Every time I see him, I feel like he doesn't realize he's in a hand.
I mean,
All in.
there it is. He moves all in. Laskowitz makes the call with ace-5, and jacks is going to be the bad news for Laskowitz again. Oh, man, this guy. He's been through the ringer.
Hey, listen, he got lucky before. You can get lucky again.
Laskowitz doing all the right things, standing up. If he had a backpack, I'm sure he would grab it right now. Turn card incoming. It is the 10 of hearts. Laskowitz looking for an ace or a 5, or his day will be done. David Chen about to reduce this field to 4. Laskowitz in the shadows, and he will stay there. The 10 of clubs will end his day. Sam Laskowitz had some chances in this event, but the board was not working out in his favor. 5th place for 52K, and we'll see him again in the 15K. Still drawing live for the overall purple jacket. But David Chen here, the youngest player to ever make a final table inside the studio, well on his way to perhaps a heads-up clash with Jim Collopy. Here we see Chen walking into the studio. Laskowitz as well. Intimidating presence. There's Chino Rheem. Filip Khavin. Looks relaxed and calm. He, of course, started with the chip lead, and Jim Collopy, I've never seen this man worried about anything except for the fact that one time he missed out on the PGT Championship, and he sat at the bar drinking wine, feeling sorry for himself.
I think what Chen does is I think he waits till there's 10 seconds left on the clock every single time.
Oh.
I've noticed it at watching him on the day 1 coverage while we did commentary there, also here. It's like he just kind of waits, and then once you hear the shot clock say 10 seconds or whatever it says, then he acts.
You know how I feel about that, Donnie?
You hate it.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
I don't know if is he a minor? Can he go to jail?
21. He's
Oh,
21.
okay, he can go to jail. We can put him in jail. No, no jail. We need to bring it back to old Vegas. Back room.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna say a barrel in the desert. Or
No.
something.
Back room first. Barrel in the desert happens much later. Okay. You got to do a lot worse things than just wait till 10 seconds.
Break a few toes.
I'm just
first.
saying, come back to this back room.
Yeah,
We'll have a talking to Mr. Chen. Remember when they scolded him? Were you there when they scolded him?
No.
Oh my gosh, the players scolded him during day 1. Like they were late. He starts, I believe they get to the final table of 7, and there's a hand playing out, and Chen just starts asking the dealer questions. And Chino's like, don't do that, kid. Like, not while they're in a hand.
Oh, man.
Just trying to give you some advice. Don't talk to the dealer when you're not involved in the hand.
I mean, the soundproof audio room is like the best place to, rough someone up a little bit. Is Brent Hanks our enforcer?
Of course he is.
By the way, if you're enjoying the content and some of the banter, please smash that like button. Anything under 100 likes means that my job is on the line. So let's keep it safe for now.
Oh, we didn't see David Chen walk in, did we?
Yeah, we saw him. It was the first one.
Oh, sorry.
It was the first one.
I didn't look at the
David
screen.
Chen had mathematically properly calculated the time he had to leave his house from, and he was the first one here. 9-5-5 on the flop here between Collopy and Khavin. Khavin raising under the gun to 125. Collopy defending with 7-8 of diamonds.
This might be a little on the loose side without 1 diamond there on the flop and the spades being there, but possible check raise situation here for Collopy if he wants to try and apply some pressure.
10 seconds.
He's going to elect to just flat here.
Time extension.
Collopy even more upset now that the 5 of hearts is another 5 of diamonds.
Of course.
Backdoor draw would have been nice. Now,
Collopy checks.
if you're Khavin here, Donnie, is this the type of turn card you continue on versus a caller from the big blind, or is this the point where we start thinking about showdown value with ace high?
Yeah, I think slowing down here. would be the preferred approach.
It's a good thing he did.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe Collopy would have folded a turn. Well, now he's not going to fold. Collopy hits a straight on the river, gets the check mark, and now the question is, how much is he going to bet?
Khavin will probably have a lot of ace highs in this line. So given that, if you're Collopy, you probably want to proceed with a bet so your opponent doesn't just check behind. I wouldn't envision Khavin is going to be value betting an ace high here. So I think Collopy is going to try and target some hands. I mean, Collopy could get a call from ace highs, figuring that, you know, there are some spades that missed.
This is no small bet here.
Yeah, this is nice and polar here.
675. Got him.
Nice. You still got it.
Still got it. After all these years.
We're going to have to give you a pad and pen and put you back out on the floor.
Oh, Don, there's nothing more satisfying than saying 675 instead of 700. Gavin, of course, whiffed on this board. Fairly easy for him to let this one go. We've got a few minutes left here on our free preview coverage. Let me remind you that Jeff and Brent are on the call on PokerGo.com.
Maria Ho.
Oh, yeah, of course, Maria Ho. We traded in
Although Brent
Hanks.
was here today.
Brent was here. That's why I got confused. Brent Hanks not in the booth today, but Maria Ho is there with Jeff Platt, so should be a great show as well.
And now what? We're on break?
If you're new to PokerGo, please consider subscribing. We have a discount on our annual sub. It's promo code MastersGold. That'll get you $20 off the first year of an annual sub, and it also gets you into 2 raffles we still have going on. At the end of Poker Masters, we're giving away a World Series of Poker main event seat for 2025. And then on October 1st, we're doing a draw for a PokerStars NAPT Gold Pass worth $10,000. All annual subs are in the mix.
10 seconds.
Do want to mention that for those of you in Pennsylvania, Michigan, New Jersey, I would encourage you to check out the PokerStars lobby in your state, because there's going to be some special free rolls coming up working alongside PokerStars where if you, I guess, quote-unquote, cash in those free rolls, you win a PokerGo annual subscription. So that's coming up.
That's pretty good.
Even if you're a monthly or quarterly subscriber, you can still win, and then we'll just upgrade you. So check those out if you are in those regions. Of course, be on the lookout for any of the PokerStars NAPT qualifiers that are happening in those regions as well. Could be your ticket to head out to NAPT Las Vegas on the cheap. I miss the days of, you know, firing up the PokerStars lobby and like playing the step tournaments or playing the satellites, trying to qualify for like an EPT or an LAPT or even the NAPT, you know, back in the day. I miss those days. So if it's available to you, please allow me to live vicariously through you and take advantage of it.
Donnie, I've made it to heads up in step 6 twice.
Wow.
Never closed it out.
Wow.
I lost heads up to Busto Soon.
Oh. I mean, that's you know, that's no slouch. I mean, you know.
I don't recall who I lost to in the other one. But like making a step 6 was like an enormous thing.
Yeah.
Because I started at step 2. And
Can I have an ice cream tea?
that was for an EPT Grand Final seat.
Oh, they brought the. Oh, never mind. I don't need to hear you. Okay.
I think I made it to the final step once.
Yeah.
For an ANZPT event, and then I lost in the final step, and I was like so upset. I was like, man, I'm gonna go to New Zealand. Like I can't wait.
You booked the flights already.
I was like, man, should I play this? Like, do I really want to travel all the way across the world? I was like, yeah, let's go.
Oh,
ANZPT, let's go. And then obviously lost. Probably got too ahead of myself, but yeah.
Not being able to go to Queenstown at least once is one of the biggest misses of my tournament reporting career.
I agree.
2 more hands?
I agree. I went to the Auckland stop, but
yeah.
I never went to the Queenstown stop. And
because that was kind of like Snowfest, but in New Zealand.
yeah, well, I think they had 2 versions. One was in the wintertime, which was like Snowfest, and then one was also in the summertime when it was. Wow. I mean, it's a whole adventure town, so it doesn't matter when you go. There's going to be a ton of stuff to do.
Here's a look at the tournament update presented by Mescla. 75 entries, 4 players remain. First prize of 217K. Average stack still 38 big blinds, but a lot of those belong to Jim Collopy, who is chip leader with 3.7 million, or 61 big blinds. This is our final hand of the free preview, so I'll direct you over to PokerGO.com for continued coverage of this final table with Jeff Platt and Maria Ho, as Chino Rheem in the small blind here gets involved. Just decides to limp.
Just the 2 stacks, right?
I've 1.525.
Getting the numbers right here.
Time extension.
Chen already burning a time extension in this unraised pot. Means that he doesn't have a whole lot of those left if he were to go deep in this event beyond the final 4. Again with the wandering eyes, Donnie.
200.
And look at this. Comes out with a raise to 200K.
I just get the sense that, and I think you kind of saw it there, like he knew what he was going to do, and then he caught himself and was like, okay, I'm going to wait because I'm not going to have any timing tells. And then you heard the shot clock say 10 seconds, and then he acted shortly thereafter. I mean, based on his background too, MIT contributor for GTO Wizard, I think he's extremely sharp, so I would bet that he just knows what he's going to do, and then he just doesn't want to exhibit any timing tells.
Well, looks like we got him a new
I guess
nickname.
you'll find out later.
David Wandering Eyes Chen.
This guy likes suspense.
All right, everyone, continue watching on PokerGO.com right now. It was an honor and a pleasure to call the action for you here in the first hour. Donnie and I will be back tonight at 9:15 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, you might need a nap before rejoining us tonight. I can't promise Daniel Negreanu, but right now he's still in the tournament, so we'll see how that goes. See you all tonight, and keep watching this final table right now on PokerGO.com.
Big fold.
No, just